Hello, creatives. Today, I'm going to share a ritual that I have that's going to help you center yourself while you're building that vision you're really passionate about. I'm Dr. Helene, and I'm your writing life coach. I'm here for you, creatives, academics, and entrepreneurs, because you're ready to see your projects get done, your impact felt, and your trajectory changed. So I take principles I've learned in over 2 decades as an English professor, an actor, and an entrepreneur, and bring all that together to help you write your path forward so you can welcome everything God has for your life. Okay? Okay, so let's get you together. We need to start at the very beginning. What is the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Okay, so for many of us, we take a minute to consider what the day holds. We mentally run through our to-do list. We lay out some mental plans for the day, right? We might get up, we might grab coffee or tea, we might greet our spouses or wake kids up for school or jump on the computer to get a head start on things. We want to show up ready for everything the day holds. Question. How are you showing up ready for the vision God gave you? Ooh, yep. I just turned down your street. but first, let me detour down my own street first. Oh yeah, okay. So my husband has to get up earlier than I do because while I tend to work from home most days, he has to go into the office and play out the traditional workday. So I would wake up when he did and head into my closet and spend some time in spiritual devotion and meditation. But it didn't work. I don't mean that I didn't have good intentions. I just mean that it didn't work. It didn't work out the way that I imagined it would. I would sit and kind of stare into space for a while because I was tired. I would try to pray, but most of the time it felt like I was talking to myself because it felt like I was babbling about everything that just popped into my head. Like I was still trying to unpack old thoughts and I don't know, just trying to wake up. Or instead of even getting into a spiritual center, I was still circulating through my day in my head. Like I can just say that trying to have quiet, focused meditation rarely works when someone's on the other side of the door getting ready and kids are waking up for school. I was distracted by all of that. And especially the fact that I was being interrupted sometimes to answer questions or, make a plan for later parts of the day. So if I started shutting everyone down, I would have that nagging FOMO vibe too, because I felt like I was missing out then on the morning routine. It was like I was adding something to my day that was in the way. What a crappy way to think about your sacred time, right? So what I realized was that my devotion time wasn't the problem. The problem was how I was showing up. And let's back up a little bit so I can explain what I mean. Showing up ready for what God has in store for you means taking some time to anchor yourself. I call it anchoring because every day should clearly speak to your priorities. And no one and nothing should have more priority in your day than you. Before you tackle everybody else's priorities, before you get into the work there is to do, before you jump into helping everybody else, you need to remember that this day was given to you. Where are you today? You are here. Put yourself in the map of your day. Anchor yourself in it. That takes taking the time to do yourself, to be yourself, and to locate yourself in why you're here. And that's best done in a ritual, in a meditation, in a prayer, in yoga, all of the above. Something that makes you physically move, put your body into a different position, and commit to the prioritizing of the internal reasoning for your life. Prioritizing your internal life will change and transform how you experience your external reality. For me, anchoring is done by acknowledging the Spirit in the centering rituals of prayer and meditation. It means closing myself off to all those external things and entering into a quiet, internal place of contemplation and communication with God. It's absolutely necessary for my growth, for my spiritual maturity. I'm focused, I'm listening, and I'm speaking to the most important person in my life. So why wasn't it working? Why wasn't I feeling centered and anchored? Why was I coming away and not feeling more calm and ready for the day? The problem was in how I was showing up. And here's what I learned. First, show up on purpose. I was waking up with my husband's alarm. That already meant that I wasn't choosing the time. Instead, I was doing what was easy and convenient. Doing what's easy and convenient isn't a great indicator that something's actually sacred. 2, show up focused. I was planning a quiet moment during the most raucous moment for my family, trying to find quiet time and space while everybody's trying to shower and find clothes and get dressed, prep lunches, eat breakfast. That's distracting. That's not their fault. I needed to make a choice about the environment that I needed to promote my focus. So you've got to choose that. Come focused. 3, show up with a plan. Entering into my meditation and devotion without a plan works out sometimes in that way that it's nice to run into a friend on the street. Like, the only problem is that you aren't really set up for a conversation. You just set up to touch base and move on. That wasn't all that useful in the long run. Really, if I'm going to anchor myself, if I'm going to meet someone for a deep connection, it's better to make the mental and spiritual space for that. I needed a structure, a format that would be a bridge from my external self to my internal self. Well, once I figured out what was going wrong, not the results of my situation, but really examined how I was showing up in ways that allowed things to go wrong, I was able to act accordingly. The question became, how do I show up in the way that I need to? Showing up on purpose and with focus meant setting my own alarm and asking myself what I wanted that time to really feel like. So I started getting up an hour earlier and going to bed an hour earlier. If I wanted quiet time, I would have to seek it out. I realized that I needed that environment that exists just before everybody else gets up and moves around. Getting up an hour earlier meant that not only was I getting the uninterrupted environment that I wanted, but I was also more clear-headed and awake, which made it easier to move into my day and help everybody else do the same. Showing up with a plan was also really key. I'm a planner. I'm a planning planner. And that's for every other way in my life, every other thing in my life. So when I showed up for prayer and meditation, I didn't want it to be too scriptive. I had to strike a balance. So I had to plan for guidance, not control. I used a devotional to open up my thoughts and to hear wisdom. I also have a prayer journal to keep a place for jotting down what's on my mind. Doing that helps me ritualize handling things over and handing things over to God. It's a way to return to things too, so I can record how God has answered those prayers and how he's responded to my thoughts. And this has been utterly transformative. I'm more focused about the time, I'm clearer about my prayers, and I'm not missing the opportunity to be thankful for God's grace and love and attention. He's also dropped so much wisdom in those moments, so much insight, that my day can't help but be anchored in the knowledge of my worth and my purpose and my peace. So I challenge you to anchor yourself, anchor your day for 7 days. Just be deliberate, focused, and have a plan for how you're going to engage the Spirit daily. And let me know how it goes. Drop something in the DMs. I'm really interested in how that works for you, how it transforms your day to do that for yourself. Okay, I'm Dr. Helene. I'm here for the vision. If you know you need support, you want to help anchor not just your day, but how you approach your vision, then reach out to me. Drop the word consultation into the notes below, and I'll reach out directly. Or you can DM me directly, and I'll set something up. We'll get you connected, and we'll set up a consultation so we can see what kind of progress we can really help you make on your vision. It's time to get that thing going. Time is now, right now. There's no time to waste, no time like the present, and no season is too late. Let's get you together, okay? I'll see you next time.